Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and today we will go over some of the top team builder schools to download. These are all real-life schools in college football 25 that I want to highlight here in this video and show you what they look like in the game. So first you need to go over to the create and share, go to the download center, and you will have access to all of these teams. Now I am recording this on Xbox, so that is the examples I am giving here. So first is North Dakota State. This is by the Florida Man 27. You can see here he's close to 5,000 downloads here. So if you search by his name, this team will come up, or you might see it if you search under NDSU. And here are the uniform combinations. There's pretty much all of them according to real life. They have the green, they have the yellow, they also have the whites, and then every I believe type of helmet that you can get with every single combination looks pretty good. And also they play in the UTSA's dome in this game. It was the closest to getting what they play like in real life, but the field looks absolutely great. You obviously have a big crowd. It's a amazing setup, an amazing stadium to play in, and I think this is like one of the better team builder teams that I've seen to download, and they could be a lot of fun to rebuild if you put them in the game. The next team I have here is Jackson State. Now you can see here this is Logan 221067 on Xbox. Now they have the Colorado scheme and the 4-3 defense. And looking at, their overall, I think you're going to be really, really good if you take over this team. So you might want to, maybe sim a year and then maybe, force some transfers there, or probably take over a one-star school. But you're going to be a really good team right away. And there's nothing wrong with that if you, want that start to your dynasty. But all of the uniform combinations look great here. And we're going to hop into a game in Heisman difficulty, by the way, and just show you a couple of plays here. And like I said, they have a good base roster. The stadium looks great. Everything looks good. They use the Rice base stadium here for this team. And it looks like it, is supposed to be there, to be honest with you. I barely noticed the Rice in the background because it blends in with the color coding of Jackson State. The next team I want to highlight here is Harvard. This one is by Harvard Hoodie. This was one of the better ones I've seen from Harvard. You're going to start out as a higher overall again. And obviously they're located in Massachusetts, which will give you a pretty good challenge in Dynasty. I would take over a Northeast team more than likely if you were to replace a team in Dynasty, just so that you have that realistic starting out as a pipeline in the Northeast. And here are the uniform combinations. These all look really, really good. One of my favorite probably rebuilds to probably do is Harvard, just based on them going from the Ivy League to FBS. And they also use that Rice field. That's more popular field. And look at this, an opening return for a touchdown. And you can just see the crowd going hype. The stadium looks amazing though, with the white end zone with the red lettering, the crimson lettering. Now the crowd is wearing pink. That's the one thing that bothers me about this one. But maybe if you see that rendition of Harvard, you can go in and create your own as well. But that's a pretty good team to start with also. The next team I have here is Villanova. This one's by PD Hask. It was one of the better ones I've seen from Villanova, and maybe one of the closer ones I've seen to like actually looking like the real life team at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Now, this is an amazing concept here because obviously Temple is in Pennsylvania as well. So in this team builder, they just took over Temple's field, which is actually kind of realistic. A lot of sports teams do this in the pros, where maybe they share stadiums with college teams. There might be things left over from bowl games, college teams, or even other sports teams in the case of like some LA teams. But here Villanova looks great. Here's a deep shot down the field. That's a catch, broken tackle, and it's gonna be a score. The one thing I like about this Villanova build here is that they have the cupcake roster right now as their default, so you don't really need to do anything with the roster, except maybe rename players if you want to do that. But that's about it. This is pretty much tailor-made, plug and play into Dynasty right now, and I just really like how this looks. Probably the best looking aesthetically that I've seen. Well, speaking of aesthetics, let's talk about maybe the worst, and that's Eastern Washington. Now, the reason why I say it's the worst is because you have to get over that red field. If you can play with that red field and it does not bother you, this is a good one. This is from Estrada X18, and this is one of the better ones I've seen. Now, I didn't see one for Eastern Michigan that was perfect, though. That was the only thing. All of them had little subtle differences. Like this one has the mountains in the end zone, which I've seen their end zone. I looked it up, and they actually have Eastern Washington as the text in the end zone. So you might want to look for one that has that. But this one's pretty decent. But that red field, if you can get over it, hey, to each their own. But it's definitely an eyesore to me, at least. So I want to highlight some other teams that I saw in Teambuilder, which we won't hop into gameplay, though. FAMU is one of them. I really love the idea of doing an HBCU. It was honestly a big thing for me because I was going to do an HBCU in my series, but I decided not to do that. But this is probably the best one I've seen by TJ, the artist. The only thing is he spelled Rattlers. So if you could get over that spelling, I'm like a very particular person. I wouldn't get that one, but that's probably the best version of FAMU I've seen. Also, Alabama State is here. I like the idea of, you know, obviously building another team in Alabama alongside Auburn and Alabama. You can just search there and see them. Here's Howard. Howard looks really nice. This isn't exactly how their field looks, but it's one of the ones that are made right now by Mr. RPT. So this is like a ready-made team that you can just plug and play right now. You'll be about 84 overall. But then the final team I really want to highlight here is the Mount Union Purple Raiders. If you don't know who Mount Union is, they are a Division III powerhouse, and this team is looking good in the game. This is probably the best version I've seen from them, and we'll hop into a game so you can see them, but they have all the uniform combinations that they have in real life. Looks really realistic. Love this build. Coach JV50 to download this one. And let's just hop into a game here and check out the Purple Raiders, as this would be a fun build because you would be in the Midwest. So you can start out in the MAC, you can start on the American, you can even start out in the Conference USA if you wanted to as well. And you'd really have your pick of where you want to be geographically as far as the conference goes, and then kind of just build your team up and eventually take your team to the Big 10 or even the Big 12 if you really want it to be crazy. But that is going to do it for this list. I wanted to go over some top team builder teams to download in the game right now, and you can go and check all these out. And like I said, I think my top ones are Mount Union, Villanova, and Harvard right now. But I really like Villanova and how they look. And there are a lot of, choices on Team Builder, so have at it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.